know it's a Thursday night, brother, when I am reviewing a TNA Impact, dude.
What is up, guys? This is Chase Oliver 68 here, doing my Impact Wrestling review for the date known as January 26, 2012. Let's get started here as we go over this week's Impact. Impact kicks off in a weird type of fashion as you see Jeff Hardy start beating up Bully Ray, and Bully Ray and Jeff Hardy start fighting, and all chaos is breaking loose, and then Robert Roode comes out in his Silverado, I don't know, fucking car bullshit, starts beating up the hell out of Jeff Hardy, throws Jeff Hardy in the back of the trunk, and then out comes James Storm, and James Storm starts to beat up on both of them, and then, oh my god, all this fighting is going on. Chaos, I tell you, chaos, as Mike Tenay will say a bunch tonight, and then all of a sudden, Sting comes out, tries to settle this with his baseball bat, whatever the fucking reason Sting has to come out, he just does, and we just don't know why this happens. Now, if you did watch the commercials and you did know what happens, I'm not going to spoil what happens, because I got a little nitpicky type of thing to say about that when the time comes, but it is much in sentence that these four men are going to have a match tonight, and these four guys are in the title picture in one way or another, so I guess that's part of it. But it was a weird opening scene, this brawl going on, this whole chaos scene. It was a unique but kind of weird opening in my sense. The number one contenders match was Velvet Sky versus Mickie James versus Tara, and a nice little triple threat match between these three knockouts. I was surprised with the winner. The winner was not Mickie James. I thought Mickie James was going to go on to face Gail Kim, but in the end, Tara ends up winning it. And you know, to be honest, whoever won this match, I would not really knock too much winning, because Tara, in a sense, still has beef with beef with Gail Kim for taking the Knockouts title. Velvet never really got a shot, and Mickie James, it just felt like she was the perfect sense, but maybe they're saving Mickie for, I don't know, maybe a Lockdown, which I would prefer, since Lockdown is considered one of TNA's bigger shows of the year, the Big Four. Gail Kim gives her thoughts backstage and says, oh, it's going to be a great match. Sting brings out freaking Jeff Hardy and James Storm selling their injuries from before, and this leads to freaking Bully Ray and Robert Roode coming out, and Bully Ray and Robert Roode start beating the shit out of Jeff Hardy and James Storm, and then all hell breaks loose again. It's a brawl. Let them fight. Let them fight. Let them fight. As those Impact fans were cheering, and Sting was trying to get some words in, and he couldn't, and then finally James Storm says it best. You guys want to fight? Let's make this a tables match. And the fans go crazy. Sting's like, what do you guys think? And the fans go crazy again. And so our main event tonight's the tables match. And this is one thing that kind of bugs me a little bit. They're building up this tension between these four men, between mostly Jeff Hardy and James Storm versus Bully Ray and Robert Roode. They're building up this tension to announce a tables match when clearly, on Spike TV at least, clearly, the commercials state already that these four men are going to be in a tables match. And they act like, oh, we're just going to announce it out of the blue. What the hell? What's the point of putting on a commercial saying, oh, there's going to be a tables match? I mean, it kind of throws you off in a way, because you already knew the match was going to happen, so it ruins that whole suspense of when they actually announce that match. It's like, oh, I already knew that it was going to happen. I was watching the Spike TV show before, and all of a sudden they said there was a table match, and it ruins why the hell this brawl happened. It ruins a little bit of suspense, and that what kills it for me. It kind of kills this part of the show for me, that they do this type of shit where they're going to, you know, not have suspense. It was like they were brawling just to lead up to the suspense. But I already knew what the match was going to be thanks to the commercial beforehand. So ultimately, I felt these segments were kind of useless in a way, although pretty entertaining and laughable in ways. However you want to look at it. It just kind of felt weird having this built up, you know? Yeah, I just don't know. So at least we get our main event for tonight. Alex Shelley promotes that his return to the X Division is coming up soon, and he's going to be returning against Zema Ion, and oh god, I was actually enjoying that segment with Zema Ion for a little bit. And Eric Young, I'm sorry, anything with Eric Young, I'm just not going to go in depth with. It's no fucking point. This is a great talent, and I don't get why TNA tries to make him into this joke fucking character. I don't know about you guys. I enjoyed Eric Young back when he was doing Don't Fire Eric, Don't Fire Eric. You know, that shit was funny. But then they dragged on with this, oh, Eric Young's a funny, trippy character guy. Why not change him up a little bit? I mean, really, come on. I mean, Eric Young is a great young talent for TNA, and they waste him with bullshit like this? ODB and to advance at ODB, Winter, and Angelina? No, Eric Young is not a guy that you would ever put in the main event. Is he a star for TNA? Yes, he is a star for TNA, but TNA books him so shitly. TNA makes him too much of a joke character. The joke is over. He's been a joke since 2006, was it? Change his damn character. Make him serious. Make him different again. The thing about Eric Young is he's a great in-ring wrestler. And that's the funny part. That's one of his funny parts of his character was that, oh my god, this guy's a total fucking joke. But not only that, at the same time, this guy can actually wrestle a match. Now it's like, come on, why don't we make him super serious, not into a joke, make him a super serious character, and a super serious threat maybe in the X Division. I don't know. But this bullshit with ODB and Angelina Love, and fuck it, I'm just going to cover what happened in their match. ODB and Eric Young wins. Who cares? This is probably the worst part of TNA at the moment. Why do this with a guy like Eric Young? I get it, you have nothing to do with ODB and freaking Winter and Angelina Love. Why don't they have their own little, feud going? Leave Eric Young out of this and stop having Eric Young promote Bellator. We get it, Spike. Bellator's coming to Spike TV. Who will care? No one really, unless you're a super duper I'm gonna wank off hardcore MMA fan. Stop it. Use Eric Young for some good purpose. I'm sorry if I'm ranting on this longer than I should, but I am sick and tired of TNA really misusing a great young talent and a great character in Eric Young. Eric Young, no by any means do I think he should be World Heavyweight Champion. I'm not saying that. I'm saying use this guy to the abilities we expect him to have and stop making him this joke character. He's been like that since 2006. Change it fucking up. Sorry there was a lot of curse words in there. Sorry if I'm really hesitant. I'm not feeling good myself. And I just got sick and tired of this Eric Young and it gave me a fucking headache. So I'm sorry. But I am just so sick of this Eric Young waste of space bullshit. Use him right. That's all I gotta say. So besides that, I already covered the Eric Young bullshit, so we don't need to go on that. We get a nice little X Division match between Alex Shelley versus Emo on it. This really, watching this match, really looks at it and you say to yourself, man, I missed the days back in WCW with that Cruiserweight title and the WWE and their Cruiserweight title, and this makes TNA very enjoyable to watch. I mean, at first I was hesitant about, X Division, it's now the Cruiserweight, but in all honesty, the X Division, it's good that's like type of a Cruiserweight division. It gives the spotlight to those smaller guys like Azima Ion and Alex Shelley, and boy did I enjoy this match. Not a great match by any means, but a very good TV match, and Azima Ion was just priceless in this match. I loved how Azima Ion was all like, don't get this, like, because his character now is like apparently this like good-looking guy, doesn't like to get his face hurt or hair messed up. And Alex Shelley at one point had him against the corner, and Zima was like, don't get my face messed up. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. And he was just freaking out. And Alex Shelley and Zima, I thought, put on a very good, fantastic show for TV. Very nice match. Alex Shelley wins, as he should. But very fine matchup. And when the fuck is Chris Sabin coming back? AJ Styles talking about how fortune is all gone and he doesn't understand why people turned their backs on him, and now he's going to address it tonight. Oh, wow. Eric Bischoff and Garrett Bischoff. Oh, at Garrett Bischoff's gym that he's training, there's a secret trader. Who could that be? Oh, I don't know. The cameraman, we don't know. But let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something, dude. I have a feeling, brother, that is the Hulkster, the one that is training the Eric Bischoff, or the Garrett Bischoff, dude. That could be the case. I can feel it. I can actually see Hulk Hogan being that guy. Next up, we get some good tag team build-up as Samoa Joe versus Matt Morgan goes along. Very nice match between Samoa Joe and Matt Morgan. I always thought these two had very good in-ring chemistry when it came down to working with each other. In the end, Matt Morgan wins. But it was like the same thing with last week. Even though Crimson won, did Samoa Joe and and Magnus look hurt in the end? No, because they got the final laugh. And that's a good thing. If you can have these guys lose cleanly in a sense, and then afterwards look strong in the end, I don't think both guys are hurt in the process. This match wasn't one of their greatest matchups between the two, but it was a nice, okay, decent, watchable match. In my opinion, it's a watchable match that you could go back and say, hey, that was okay. Nothing too memorable from this show. But Matt Morgan wins, build up to this tag team match that is already announced for Against All Odds, and a match I am actually looking forward to from TNA. This tag team match is something I'm looking forward to. AJ Styles and the Daniels problem, man. Oh God! If there's one thing that if you guys do not know, AJ Styles is one of my favorite talents of all time. Not all time, but currently right now in the product of the business and when it comes down to wrestling. But if there's one thing I've always, and I don't think he's improved too much. If there's one thing that I've always will criticize AJ Styles on, and it's that microphone. AJ in a microphone, no matter how well he has definitely improved from being a very stiff guy on that mic, and especially that shoot promo he had on Hogan, but I felt that was just AJ being himself. I feel when AJ gets to be himself, it's a very good mic experience, but when he has to play a character where he has to play AJ Styles, not Alan Jones, AJ Styles, that's when AJ's like, ugh. And this promo was okay between him and Kazarian and Daniels. More of the psycho heel Daniels. I love Daniels as a heel. I thought Daniels has always been underrated on the microphone. I think many people don't give him too much credit for being a good mic worker. But he is definitely one of the good mic workers in today's business. Really like the little whole Kazarian type deal, what they're going to do with him. It's really interesting where they're going to move forward with this. Kazarian in the end does not accept AJ's apology or gives AJ a reason why. And I guess they're going to have a match, AJ and Kazarian, in the near future, maybe at Against All Odds. And then maybe in the near future, final encounter of AJ and Daniels. Please, God, let this freaking feud end. We've seen it too many times. Hell, even in the indie scene, we've seen this too many times. Like, these guys wrestled a lot in the indies, so it's like, to be honest, we've seen this match more than fucking, like, I want to say 28 times. Like, really, we've seen this match a lot, so it's about time they buried the hatchet with AJ and Daniels. Next up, we got Jeff Hardy and James Storm versus Robert Roode and Bully Ray. Really like how TNA likes to, stay consistent with backstage brawls and stay consistent with damage earlier on in the show. Bully Ray looked fucked up. Jeff Hardy looked fucked up. James Storm was limping. Bobby Roode was limping. Very good. And this was a nice little main event. Couple of problems. One with the ending of the match, not the whole show itself. The one problem I had with the ending was the fact that, Robert Roode had to go through a table. I get it that it was James Storm and Jeff Hardy getting revenge. But to me, it just kind of felt weird that why Robert Roode had to go through the table. Why not Bully Ray? It kind of just feels like Robert Roode is just a champion that shouldn't be champion at this point. I do enjoy Robert Roode. He is one of my favorite talents in the business today. I think he's top 5. And maybe, I guess I could consider him top 5 of one of my favorites. One of my favorites. Not saying overall talent-wise. He could be. It depends on how you look at talent in today's wrestling. But Robert Roode, I just don't understand. What are they doing with him as world champion? Like, it just doesn't feel like he has that solid, definitive win yet. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad world champion. I think they're trying to do their best as a heel Robert Roode. I feel Robert Roode works better as a heel. I think they're doing their best, but it's just why does he have to get put through the table? But nonetheless, Bully Ray and Robert Roode get the final say. Super bomb, whatever you call it, through the table between Jeff Hardy and James Storm. So, at least they get the final say in this. And what did I think about this week's Impact? Yeah, this week's impact on the entertainment side of things and flow of the show was not as great as last week's. I thought. I thought Impact last week was a very solid show and a much more watchable show. This show very lacked the excitement factor. The brawl in the beginning, and it all depends on your opinion on how you thought how Impact started. To me, I thought Impact started very weird. That brawl did not make me say, "Oh yeah, I cannot wait for the main event tonight." It just kind of made me chuckle and laugh, and I just couldn't get into it. It looked sloppy. It was just very not a great way to start the show, and then it continued on. And not to mention the fact that I mentioned before, I saw 3 commercials before. Oh yeah, the main event will be a tables match live tonight. It's like, really, you already told us this. The suspense of all this brawling has kind of gone away. AJ and Daniel's stuff was okay. Eric Young bullshit, and I already ranted on that long enough. You guys don't want to hear that anymore. I like the X Division action, but to me, this was an okay week of Impact. Nothing too bad, nothing too terrible. Tag team matches being built up, X Division matches being built up. Still kind of hazy on what's going to go with the World Heavyweight title at this point, but hey, yeah, at least there's some story being told. So, this week of Impact was a very okay episode. I would give it a C, C plus. Nothing too terrible going on here. Nothing really, really bad going on. Nothing really, really good though. I just felt the show started off very sloppy, and then in the end, it just kind of was hard to get into this show. It was just there would be the points, and then it would just be like, oh god, and then there would be the points, and then be like, oh god. You know what I'm saying? That was just me tonight, this week. What did you guys think of this week's Impact? Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys dislike it? Comment down below your thoughts on TNA Impact. Subscribe above if you haven't. Sorry if this wasn't my best review. Like I said, I am under the weather. I don't know what the fuck hit me. I just wanted to put this up there to show people, yeah, I am still doing weekly TNA Impacts. I'm not going to give up on this. Many probably thought, oh, he's doing weekly Impacts. Oh, Chase probably won't do it. But you know what? I'm busting my ass off because I want to review Impact. So sorry if this episode is really bad. I really thought I did a terrible job in this video, but I tried my best. But hey, it's all based on your guys' opinions. So comment down below. We will discuss some Impact Wrestling, brother. My Hogan's not even on right. That's how you know this is a bad fucking video when I can't even do the Hulk Hogan, dude. But anyways, this is Chase Oliver 68. Subscribe to all the other links down below. My head's fucking wobbly. I can't fucking remember them right now. And that's pretty much it. And I say peace, y'all.